नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। आज शनिवार है, तो आज हम हॉट टेक्स करेंगे। मेरे साथ मेरा भाई विनोद श्रीनिवासन है।
नमस्कार।
हर वीकेंड इंग्लिश में होगा, इस बार भी इंग्लिश में होगा। मार्केट्स में बड़ा करेक्शन देखने मिला। पिछले 5 दिनों से मार्केट लगातार नीचे आ रही है। इसके बारे में मेरे भाई से मैं बात करूंगा। ये प्रोग्राम इंग्लिश में होगा।
Hmm.
यस विनोद।
Yes, Anand, this week we saw huge corrections in the market. We
हम्म,
saw extreme volatility. On Thursday, it
हम्म,
went down quite drastically, and the domestic investors refrained from stepping in.
हम्म,
Friday, as the market opened, they stepped in. Then they
हम्म,
saw the selling pressure from the FIIs. Then, after lunch, when the Europeans opened up, they decided to let go of the market and it fell again.
हम्म,
And individual stocks like microfinance companies like Manapuram, which are doing microfinance and gold loans, those have really corrected by a huge swing.
हम्म।
So I thought we'll get your views on this. What is happening? Why is this?
There are
Is
two,
all
three to
this normal correction?
no, this is not normal, but this is not a correction. A correction is a 10% fall. We are nowhere near a 10% fall. At best, we may be 5%. I'm talking about the main Nifty. So the Nifty is, or the Sensex is down only 5%. The 5% is not a correction. You have not even got back to a 2 month low or a 3 month low. So an ICICI mutual fund manager was saying there's a possibility of a 20% correction. It would be good. So that is a 5,000 point correction, which means the Nifty can come down to 21,000 according to them. So they are penciling in a case of a 21,000 Nifty. I am not doing it. It is the fund manager who is doing it. So I am telling you that. So this is not yet a correction. What has happened? The Middle East crisis has gone out of hand. Israel has been baiting Iran for a long time. It first attacked Hamas leader in Tehran and knocked him off. It really destroyed Hamas in Palestine. It's done a hitman job in Lebanon. And Hezbollah's chief, Nasrallah, has been taken out. And if Iran was forced into a corner where Iran did not react, it would have looked puny in the eyes of its people. So Iran retaliated back with a missile attack. Israel has said it has the right to retaliate at a time of its choosing. Joe Biden has gone and said that Israel has the right to bomb Iranian oil fields. In this case, it is very clear it is Israel which is the aggressor. It's baited Iran. Nobody could have seen this outcome coming 2 months back. We were all blindsided by it. Tomorrow, two things can happen. This whole thing can just blow over, or Iran and Israel can escalate this conflict a bit more. If somebody guesses, we are only guessing. Nobody knows Netanyahu. Nobody knows Alchemy. So even Biden does not know. So basically, you are second guessing both of them by making trading bets. So this is a classic geopolitical situation that has come out of the blue, and we don't know what is the outcome. So this is what happened in the market. The US job
Okay.
numbers,
Hmm.
unemployment has not gone up at the
Hmm.
level at which the market expected. Therefore, the chances of rate cuts are further slowed down. And Powell himself has said we will proceed very cautiously. In November, there is a presidential election. So there won't be another rate cut in November. Maybe there is a rate cut in December. So all asset classes will be volatile, going up and down. Now you brought up the case of Manappuram. Manappuram, you considered at 32, and last serious consideration was at 110, 120. It went up to 230, I think, and it's now reached 189. That's only a 20% fall. This is not my recommendation. I do not follow microfinance. Manappuram, big subsidiary, is a company called Ashirvad, which is India's second largest microfinance player. The entire microfinance industry is in trouble because of excessive lendings. There are three companies which are badly affected. One is again a company which I am not tracking, which I am not recommending, is a company called Spandana Smruti, which is nearly 50% down. There's a company called Fusion, which I have not at all seen, which is 55% down. There is some problem in collection. If one gets into problem, all will domino effect is what is affecting Manappuram. If you notice, IndusInd Bank will also be subdued because it has a big subsidiary called Bharat Financial Inclusion, which was formerly SKS Microfinance. So this is also in trouble. So this is an effect of microfinance. And the amount of questions you have been asked, if people who bought it at 100 and below and seen it go to 230 are now worried at 189, they are not value investors. Better to pack the bags today. I am reminded of a conversation between trader Vinod and a client of his. ITC went to 500 initially. He said, boss, take some profits off the table. That guy told him, no, no, I am Anand Srinivasan, I don't care. Let it come down. It came down to 420. He called Vinod and told him, why didn't you warn me before? I would have taken some profits off the table. Manappuram can come down to 100 again. If the crisis in microfinance deepens, it can come to 120, 110. If you are nervous, get out and go. Since we are talking about nervous 90s, let me tell you about another favorite company of mine, which I consider, which is Natco Pharma. Natco Pharma's main business is to fire challenge companies which have patents and go through a nasty fight, win a case, and have exclusivity for 1 or 2 years. There are periods between two blockbuster drugs where the volumes can fall, profits can fall, and the company nobody may want to buy it. I'll give you an example. It had exclusivity for a drug called Tamiflu, which is basically for flu. It was very popular during COVID. And he had exclusivity for it. He lost exclusivity. For 2 years, there was no revenue fall. There was a big revenue fall. Medicine called Revlimid. Now, Revlimid will go out in 2026. So, NATCO can suffer in 2026. If you are now very nervous about a 50% correction in NATCO's prices, you might as well pack up your bags and leave today. Because after 2026, for a year or two, he may not find anything. If you are feeling very nervous, if you are not willing to go up the roller coaster along with the promoters of Natco Pharma, the time to exit is now, where you are sitting on profits. Because it has corrected 15% in the last 2 months. If people are worried about Manappuram, they will be worried about Natco. Both are completely different businesses. If you don't think Natco will ever find another drug, it will never be another court case. Don't waste your time here. I am also going to the other line and saying, yesterday Tata Motors came down, I saw 920. Immediately from 1070, it has come to 920. You said good stock. I am having palpitations. Hybrids are doing well. Electric cars are not doing well. Well and good, you please exit today. Because for all I know, Tata can come down to 470, 480. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying in a bear market, anything is possible. If you are not comfortable with it coming 50% from where it is today, don't own a stock. Most of you have not seen a bear market. Yeah, but this is not a bear market. This is not even a correction. Whatever that ICICI guy told you, like if Tata falls to 750, it's in a bear market. All stocks go into bear markets. So if you are worried, this is the time to pack your bags and leave. Next question.
Okay, when you're talking about this ICICI and you're talking about bear markets and all, we have people like Shankar Sharma, the guy who's running G Quant. He came out and said markets have tamed the bear market. This bear market where you saw these huge corrections are things of the past. Barring a nuclear war, he says this kind of things where you see huge corrections in the markets are all in the past. So you're not going to see these extreme bear markets at all. What's your take on that opinion?
It's his opinion.
Hmm.
Markets are in a range of possibilities.
Hmm.
That is a possibility.
Hmm.
But I have seen for 500 years, I have studied 500 years of history.
Hmm.
And the nearest example is with you in Japan,
Hmm.
where it has just come out of a long bear market.
Correct.
Chinese market at RS7, what is he blabbering? Till 3 weeks back, Chinese
Hmm.
markets were at a 20-year low, and they have gone up 25% from that 20-year low. From the peak, China is still in a bear market.
Correct.
So
And that's purely
somebody
on
is,
speculation has gone up.
I don't know about all that. 3 weeks back,
Hmm.
China was in a bear market.
Hmm.
And for 2 years, it has been an extreme bear market. So I
Hmm.
want to tell Mr. Sharma, please go to
Hmm.
see China. Then he
Okay.
will say, no,
That,
no, it is in India. So we
hmm.
have to wait.
Yeah, but then you have people like Larry Summers coming, or I don't know if you managed to read what he's been saying in a conference that India is doing very well, is very robust, and he sees Indian economy going up by sixfold by 2040 and things like that. So, what do you think about that?
Yes, I do not know whether. I have not read that paper. Larry
Okay.
Summers is definitely a great guy. And definitely the Indian economy is going to do well.
Mm.
But there is also equally credible Ratan Roy. There are two types of development in the world. One is an equitable growth, where the entire population becomes rich, like what you are seeing in Scandinavian countries.
Mm.
In America, it is more distributed. 50% is really well off, 25% is lower middle class, 20% is poor. But if you go to a country like Brazil, my favorite country, or Indonesia, I have been to Indonesia, I have not been to Brazil yet. To Brazil or Indonesia, or for that
Mm.
matter, Philippines, you will
Mm.
see that few people are extremely wealthy.
Mm.
Most of the people are poor. The country falls into a middle income trap. So
Mm.
if you have India economy can be great,
Mm.
but it is for the top 1%,
Mm.
top 2%, top 3%.
Mm.
If the Indian economy has to do well,
Mm.
the top 50 million people have done well. If
Mm.
the next 200 million people start doing well,
Mm.
then what he says can happen.
Mm.
Otherwise, what will happen is India will grow. India will do well.
Mm.
You will do well. I will do well. But we are in the top 1% of the India.
Correct.
So you will become like Brazil, where you will have
True.
90-95% poor, middle
Mm.
class, lower middle class, 5% extremely wealthy. So
Correct.
you will have revolutionary left governments, like what you have now. Brazil has elected Lula, who is a left leading guy. So somebody
Like
told
what
me,
happened in Venezuela also then?
yeah, Venezuela is extreme left, more extreme.
Yeah. Their oil boom and their oil wealth distribution in the 70s led to Hugo Chavez coming to power.
Exactly. So if you allow few people to become extremely wealthy at the cost of the majority, it is ripe for trouble.
True.
That's what happened in the French Revolution. So there is no
True.
point in India becoming an economic superpower and most people in absolute abject poverty. There are two Indias. There is an India below where I live, that is the south of India and the north of India. All the prosperity you are seeing is coming in south and western India and
Mm.
pockets of northwest India around Delhi, 100 kilometers around Delhi. It is 100 kilometers around Delhi, western India and southern India, which is doing well.
Mm.
So it is very disparate. Even in South India,
Mm.
the amount of the difference between people who have money and who do not have money is big gap. If
Mm.
that gap doesn't close, economic growth is of no meaning.
True. Anyway, you can wrap up. I think Anand, we have spoken.
आपने इस पॉडकास्ट को सुना इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. हो सके तो इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल नोटिफिकेशन दबाएं. इस वीडियो को अपने दोस्त और रिश्तेदार के पास भेजें और उनको देखने की आग्रह करें. नमस्कार, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद.